really wanted to grow, but my kidneys couldn't
cope with all
it.
the. So the kidneys basically remove the waste products.
Yeah.
And if your body is not removing waste products and you're eating differently?
Yeah, completely differently.
Okay. What were you avoiding? What do you do now that you didn't food-wise?
Food-wise, I try to have everything now, whereas before I had to avoid like cheese, dairy products, calcium, things like that, like bananas.
So anything that the kidneys couldn't clear, you
Yeah.
have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you took bananas, it would be high in potassium,
Yeah.
high in iron, high in this. So it was a boring life, man.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible.
I mean, for a young lad, it's absolute crap.
Yeah, like
I can't say crap. It's absolute shit. Sorry, can't say that. It's absolutely fecal matter. Okay, no, it must have been really difficult. And how did you do in schools with all the time feeling kind of unwell? I can't eat this. Everyone's stuffing chocolate. I can't eat that. They're having bananas. I can't even eat that.
Well, I just thought I had to deal with it, really.
So did you just get used to it?
Yeah, eventually I got used to it.
Okay. And then what happened?
Then obviously I hit 13, and the doctors offered a solution at a transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my mum went away and talked about it, see what we'd do.
And I remember very clearly they had to make sure your mother wasn't making money out of giving it. I found that horrendous. A mother is giving her kidney to her child, which any mother would do. Some fathers would, some brothers and sisters would, some friends would. And a lot of English people would say, when I die, take it. Don't take it now yet. Please, I'm still alive. But to ask a mother if she's making profit from giving her son, I find that disgusting.
Yeah.
I personally feel like taking them to court at the front of it, Yeah. But, when you're in the clutches of legalities, you say, okay.
Yeah.
I feel hurt and insulted, but it's okay. And a mother would.
Yeah.
Okay. So she said, no, I'm not making any money out of this.
Yeah.
What's your mother's name? Susan?
Jill.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then what happened?
So I went on a list for donors. I was on there for about 5 or 6 months and didn't hear anything, didn't get any matches from anyone. So that's when my mum offered to get her bloods tested, everything like that, see if she was compatible. So that took about another couple of months, and then eventually they said, "All right, you're clear to go."
So your mother was cleared up for being a donor, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
Right. Okay, and then?
So I had the transplant, and now I'm back to being.
No, what date did you have a transplant?
29th of November 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
And you went for javelin, isn't it?
Yeah, javelin.
You did other sports as well.
Oh yeah,
and you started growing.
Yeah, I do everything now.
Okay, you're still shorter than your brother.
Oh, a lot shorter, yeah.
Lot. How many inches?
Quite a few. I think it's 6 foot.
So in the growing phase, your bones, when the cartilage weren't growing fast.
Yeah.
So now you can become tougher but not taller.
Yeah, basically.
A bit like me. Yeah. Okay. We also have Steve there watching over you. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
We have plugged the microphone into you so you can talk.
Yep. Okay.
You can butt in, you can talk. So we got Ryan sitting here. He was looking so
well,
I didn't recognize him, man. Go on, talk to him.
You're right.
Hi, Ryan. Can you hear all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
I'm not using a proper microphone or anything.
So for the listeners, that's Steve Wilkinson, my wheelchair Steve Wilkinson, except he was unwell for a few days. He's well enough to talk, which we all are till we die, don't we, Steve?
Yes.
But not well enough to jump into a wheelchair and come all the way to the studio. So he's sitting in Kingston Park next to Wakar's. Call in Wakar to also show his face sometime,
Yes, we should. Yes, I
phone him and say, come on, show your damn face. We haven't seen him for ages. Okay, so talk to us.
Like there, right?
Oh, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was actually colder than Britain as well.
What? Buenos Aires is colder than Britain?
Yeah, it was freezing. It was like 8 degrees.
Isn't that a very high?
Yeah. Okay. But apart from that, it was really good. Met loads of incredible people from around the world. It was unreal.
So, how did you perform with your javelin? Did you win any competitions? Were you in things?
I came second in the javelin, but you only beat us by a couple of centimeters.
Second in javelin in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Don't look so shy. You've done bloody well, man.
You must have a silver medal. Have you got a silver medal?
I've got the silver medal on it.
Yeah. Show us.
Good keeping medals in your pocket.
Okay, show me. I'll put it in front of the camera. Carry on talking to Steve. Yeah.
Do you not think Doc he should be wearing that round his neck all the time when he's out in the street? And people think, why have you got that neck?
Yes.
Where have you got that from?
But I'm wearing a Bajrangi Bhai thing. You can see,
Oh yes.
Yes. That's a sign of Hindu-Muslim friendship. A movie. So if I can wear that, you can certainly wear it. Put it on your neck.
Yes.
You look better.
So I think for this show, you definitely should wear it because it will be.
Right.
That's fantastic, though.
We are so proud that a phone call. Just hang on there. I bet it's Zafar Bhatti. Spice FM.
Hello, Zafar.
It is Zafar Bhatti. Hi, Zafar.
Yes, are you okay?
We've got Ryan Dobinson. You might be hearing.
Yes, I was listening about the kidneys. I know everything about kidney transplant because my family's been through it.
Okay.
And they're still going through it.
All right. So here's one. Secondly, Eid Mubarak to you.
I want to say Eid Mubarak to everybody as well from me.
Yes.
All the listeners.
And if you're free between 5 and 7, come into the studio. We're celebrating Eid.
No, I'm working, Doctor. I'm working. I'll phone in though. If my break time comes in, I'll phone in. I think my break's about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay. Your break's at 4 or 5 o'clock. And what's your clutch like?
I'm not sure what time because I start at 10 to 1. So.
Okay. And we've got Steve Wilkinson on Skype. He was unwell, so he's on Skype, not in the wheelchair in the studio. He's on Skype.
Yes, I heard. Yes.
Yeah. So good. So it'll be fun. So if you can phone in, that's good enough because you're so associated with Spice and BBC and ITV. But Spice is your top billing, I think.
Spice obviously is the heart of the community, isn't it?
Yes, and the beacon is as well. So we are very well placed here, isn't it? You're lucky.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay, and how's your attempt to do a 24-hour session? You went out.
Well, we got some sort of we started anyway, board rolling. We're going to get the price for how much they're going to charge us to use the community hall at Westgate College. So we need a lot of sponsors. We need some sponsor money.
Also, you can tell.
So people are generous. Get some sponsor money, Doc.
Okay, and if the Westgate Sports Centre wants some advertising, I'll do it free if they make the price cheap for you.
Well, that's right. We'll ask them. Rosaria will probably get in touch with them.
So Rosaria and you are leading.
I think he will be better doing it.
Yeah. Rosaria and you are leading, but I'll make a video of Rosaria and you talking about your event in front of that building.
Next week sometime.
Yeah, and I'll film you. Obviously, it'll cost you a pakora or two.
Well, pakoras are no problem. That I can make them in my sleep.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, thank you very much. And Eid Mubarak once again to one and all. Thank you.
Eid Mubarak to everybody and enjoy the show. And hope you put a nice song for me on 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
All right. Just for you. All right. Okay. Cheers. Inshallah. So that's our friend Zafar Bhatti who does all weird and wonderful things. So Steve and he and I and a few other friends went to the Heaton Mosque for disability or wheelchair table tennis. So he'll do some marathon at the sports center, and you'll be most welcome.
I'll see if I can get along.
Yeah, you come along and
we'll have to see whether you can manage some of Zafar Bhatti's food, and obviously with your kidney situation, whether you'll have to ask Zafar Bhatti to produce something because he does some great. As Doc asked him for pakoras and onion bhajis and various other things that he produces. They're great for us.
Do you know Steve? Tomorrow night I'm sitting with Graham Onions.
Oh yes,
cricketer who you know so well. You've been there. And I was just telling the public that Baji is a word, especially in Punjab, which means older sister. His sister is Catherine, and her name is Onions. So she's Onion Baji,
You were trying to find that one the other week.
Yes, we were looking for it. So go on talking to Ryan. Steve,
things like that, just talking about the food. Obviously, you were talking earlier on.
I'm feeling hungry now.
What sort of things in the sort of spicy stuff is that out of the question or?
No,
he just eats anything now.
Yeah, I can eat anything now.
Yeah.
It's always going back in the early days, was it?
Yeah, that was back before the transplant.
Yeah. All right, that's great. Well, you definitely need to get some of onion bhajis and pakora.
Definitely.
He usually comes in with all sorts. But
we'll ask Ryan what he likes best in his pakoras, and we'll call it Ryan Pakora. Okay, name a pakora after Ryan. And he just missed by a few inches, did you say?
Yeah,
in the javelin throw.
Inches, yeah.
So what is the distance you throw?
I threw 35 meters, 60.
35 meters is 110 feet?
Yeah.
And you missed by inches?
Yeah.
So it's like you buy something for $9.99, but not £10.
Yeah, basically.
So, Steve, what do you think of this young lad? He's done so well.
I think that what I was going to say, you're still a young lad by a long way, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're talking to me.
19, 20?
20.
20 now.
Aye.
When's the next World Championship? Because you're going to be young enough to be involved for the next however many years.
It's in 2017.
17. That's every 2 years.
Yeah, so that's every 2 years.
So you must be having ambitions to get to that.
Oh yeah, I'm training twice as hard now.
All right.
Yeah.
And where is that one going to be held?
That's in what was it? Malia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spain.
Wow, it'll be a bit warmer there.
Oh yeah, a lot warmer.
Instead of Buenos Aires.
Yes.
And what happens in between now and then? Is there competitions?
Yeah, we've got the British Games, which is in Liverpool next year, and then I've also got the Australian Games next year as well, which is in Sydney. So I've got 2 more competitions to get through.
Right. So yeah. What are you doing on a daily basis or a weekly basis for training and practice and things?
Weekly basis, it's like mainly just training, throwing the javelin, weight training, trying to sort my diet out. Just trying to get in the physical condition now.
Yeah, so you really need to get you better get these onion badges down earlier than from Zap before you
yeah, definitely.
But we'll certainly be following you through the progress.
Yeah.
Through the show and making sure you get maximum publicity and people want to support you. And I think it's we'll get in yourself and some of the others that would be good in the show. The kind of show we normally have on a Thursday is about things like health. So if you want to bring anybody else involved,
I'll ask someone.
Have them in.
Yeah, definitely.
So on your transplant team or any other sports people?
Yeah.
Any other who have conquered other health issues, including obesity?
Yeah. I'll
anything.
I'll ask around. I'll see if anyone else wants to come in.
And certainly, if Steve knows, and Steve himself has conquered a lot. I mean, he's the best known wheelchair person in the world.
Yeah.
He's done wheelchair day and all sorts. He's written a book.
Yeah, a book. That's what I need to get as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to get Ryan a book. His mum Gillian who couldn't come today because of a work commitment. But the arrangement was that I was going to get a book for Ryan, but I'm obviously not there. So we'll sort that out in the next week sometime, Ryan. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Yes. So that'll be good to keep.
Shall we, Steve, take him to a speakers club one day?
We could do, yeah.
Because he'll be giving speeches all over the world, man.
Yes, well, that's the other thing. Once you're an Olympic star and things like
you'll be making speeches all the time. You can't say What do you think, Steve?
I think that's a great idea. Yes, and I think contrary to what you said at the first time you were on, that you were shy, or your mum said you were shy. You've demonstrated twice that you're not. So
he needs to come all by himself, without his mother.
I got lost on the way here.
Yeah, you got lost on the way.
Yeah,
that's okay, but that's not shyness. That's just being stupid.
You see, because he was supposed to meet me there, and I wasn't there.
And I didn't recognize him, Steve. Did you hear that? I just saw this young, smart guy walking around, smiling. I said, "Nice English."
You had a beard last time, did you?
No.
He's got a beard and a mustache.
Yeah.
You see, not only is he winning medals and not putting them on his neck, he's hiding his face.
Yeah. But it was cold in Buenos Aires, so he needs a beard to keep himself warm.
Yes.
He's got to shave his head when he goes to Spain, right? And what's your most favorite song?
My most favorite song? I don't know. I like any kind of music, any song. Any song you put on, I'll probably like it.
I'm playing Eid songs. The audio output is going to Steve, but I haven't got a cable, so I'm running behind. So you don't know this Eid song, but tell me any song you want. Anything. Not the national anthem, not the God Save the Queen.
I don't know. I don't like getting put on the spot. Just play anything, literally anything.
You like Brighton City by the Shadows?
Yeah, put that on.
Okay. Carry on talking. Don't make me nervous.
You might not think he's got that.
I've got Frightened Rabbit.
Frightened Rabbit. You've got Frightened City. Frightened Rabbit.
I've just spelled it badly. Frightened.
researching.
I've got an old song ready to go. I don't know how that started. It went to full screen. You don't want K Sara Sara by Doris Day.
Yes, that's good.
No, that's all right for you and me.
It might come back. It might be the sort of thing that young lads like Ryan might like these days.
Yes.
Here goes.
Have you heard Doris Day?
Nope.
No. You see what's missed? These youngsters have missed these things.
Hey man, stop talking like an old guy. You'll get old if you talk like that. And wasn't Hank Marvin from Newcastle like?
Yes.
You see the fellow with the big jaw and thick glasses. He's a Newcastle boy.
Did he go in the school? That was me going to look at my research iPad. And see whether I can find out which school he went to. I'm sure he went to Rutherford School.
Okay.
Somebody might phone in, that I might know. Or somebody else that listens. Waka and anybody else. Or Wakar, sorry, I'm always saying it wrong.
It's Wakar. And it's not Ka, it's Wakar. Say that now. Wakar. Abu al-Bakr. You know the Arabic sound. There was a Hindi movie called My Name is Khan and I'm Not a Terrorist. It was quite funny. The hero was kept in a childlike state by saying that he's got Tourette's. And it was very beautiful. I mean, it was a very tearful movie. And India produces such controversial movies that reach the heart of the people. And he would say, my name is Khan from the epiglottis. That's what he would tell everyone.
Are you listening to music there?
Yes, I am. I like this.
All right.
The Shadows were my introduction. My grandfather sent my uncle, his son, my mother's brother, to come to the UK. And he worked a long time here. He was a registrar in medicine in Blackpool. And when he came back with a Pi stereo. I'd never heard a stereo in my life, man. This is 57 or something. So I was like 11. And stereo sound, can you imagine that? With big speakers. Oh. And I heard two things, Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake and The Shadows. It was just amazing, the quality. You know, how did you feel when you first heard stereo or a transistor radio or a watch that didn't have needles?
Exactly. It was when you heard one bit coming through one ear and the other on the other ear.
And you got spatial separation. It was just amazing.
Yes.
And this guy's laughing at us, but how do you feel when it's surround sound?
I like surround sound.
Yeah, but it's a step up from what we've heard.
Yeah.
And then your kids will hear surround sound from above, below. I mean, in the movie hall, you know, if somebody's shooting there and something behind, you feel like turning. And then it's in stereo. This is too real. It's too real. So what have you found out, sir? I
think I found out that he went to Rutherford Grammar School with Bruce Welch. It says 16-year-old Marvin and his Rutherford Grammar School friend Bruce Welch met Johnny Foster, Cliff Richard's manager, in the Two Eyes Coffee Bar in Soho, London, and they started being the backup group from then. Well, the road, isn't it, Rutherford School?
Yes, it's not such a bad school.
It's not there anymore.
Well, I think it disintegrated into a terrible school.
Yeah. I think there's an Excelsior Academy now.
But Excelsior has nothing to do with Rutherford. They're so scared of being associated with that awful school when it closed. But, out of the ashes came out what you call Pygmalion, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
All the good stuff can come out of some awful stuff. In fact, the national flower for India is a lotus. And the lotus can only grow in absolutely dirty water.
All right.
It cannot grow in clean, nice water. It just dies.
Mm.
It's a bit like me. I like anybody because everyone has something to teach. What do you think? What do you think, Ryan?
I don't know, honestly.
No, Steve, what do you think? Would you always be with nice people?
Well, it's strange because I was going to do something a few years ago I was talking to Gates at council training about this, with a kind of they were doing a lot of training. I was talking to them about all sorts of training things, and it was about trying to bring events where people come together and somebody teaches somebody something because everybody knows something.
Yeah.
I mean, take for example, you know how to throw a javelin, right? So you could teach somebody how to throw a javelin.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So it's everybody's got some sort of
talent or
ability that they don't realise the value of that ability sometimes.
Yes.
And what they can do for other people and how they can help other people.
Yeah.
And that's all sorts. The doc, I mean, he could teach you how to do major surgery on the body and things like that. Couldn't you? Is that right?
Not quite, but never mind. I could do an appendix.
Well, there you
I could do a vasectomy.
It's a start.
I could open boils. I could give you joint injections, which I
did.
did.
So you people how to do that?
Yeah, easily.
So you could do, actually, next time you come to speakers, you could do a 7-minute talk on boil surgery.
Yuck. I'd rather talk about things I know nothing about, so I learn. Honestly, I don't like talking about topics I know. They're behind me, you know. But yeah, when's the next Speakers Club?
The next one for
Morpeth
is 2 weeks' time, whatever date that is. Let me think now. It was yesterday was the... so I've lost track of dates. I'll tell you in a minute when I've had a look at
22nd was the last one. So we're not going on the 29th. It'll be 4th October or something.
On Tuesday, the 13th, I think, of October.
Okay, we'll go Tuesday, 13th of October. Are you free?
I'm free, yes.
How far do you live from here?
I live up next to the airport.
Perfect.
Can we not pick him up on the way?
Yes, we can pick you up. Ryan, if you want to go, that would be
great. We'd love to take you because, we want young people also to look at speaking. It's not just about speaking, your personality improves. Yeah. If you can stand up in front of people and don't go, like most people do.
Yeah.
And I like the club that Stephen and a lot have started this club.
Oh, okay.
And there's even an counter. You ask, what's your name? Ryan Davis. But you're not you just...
Don't making him speak wrongly to start with.
No, he didn't talk like that.
I was speaking earlier on this morning to Tom Fennick-Brown, who was been in the show many times, and Doc used to be his doctor.
And he survived all that.
He would have one of his boils pierced.
Yes.
But he was there on Tuesday at Morpeth, and he said it was a good meeting. There wasn't a lot there, but they're still keen to get more members, and it's a wide age range.
So it's best to go to a new club where there's fresh blood.
Yes, it is.
Because the club I used to go to was 35, 40 years old, and the only way people left the club was by dying or getting dementia. Honestly, I was the youngest member. I was 64, and I'm young there, and it's too far away. But then it was getting a bit boring, Same old people, same old jokes, same old ties, same old wives. Yuck. But with Steve and them, they're always spawning up new clubs. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So you keep in touch with Jill. Bring Jill along as well.
Yes, you're both welcome to come along, and we've actually got that would be an interesting combination because we've got a father and daughter there, so we'll have a mother and son there as well. So that would be interesting to see because we've got, I don't know, were they there at the time you were there, Heather and Peter Murdoch?
Yes,
they were there.
Very much so.
So they're so there's a real mix of people. Mm. So we think it's the 13th of October.
So you liaise with Jill and Ryan, and because they'll be on our way there, won't they? Sort of.
You can put through the road probably even quicker these days unless the road works.
Unless I keep talking to you and you reach Scotland.
Yes.
Last time we were chattering away so much, we missed 2 turns. And I said, "Excuse me, Morpeth kind of is to our right and like 10 miles on the other way." So we turned back and...
I thought they knocked all the houses down on the road.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more, since you've come, how have you been keeping up your training and so on?
It's been quite well.
What do you do? You got an Indian guy in Gateshead?
Yeah, he's called Hemant Desai.
Hemant Desai.
Yeah.
He's welcome.
Yeah, I'll ask if he wants to come
or
on.
On a Thursday particularly. It's an English show. He does speak in English, like.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only joking. So Hemant Desai is welcome on a Thursday, so you come with him.
All right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, won't it be nice, if he came and...
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's
get more people interested in the sport as well, because I think you forget about the transplant thing. Just more people taking part in sport keeps you healthier.
Yeah.
And it also shows from likes of yourself is that even if you've got some ailment, and it doesn't matter what it is, that you've overcome and do something. I mean, I could throw I throw a javelin from a wheelchair, I would imagine. So there's no reason, there's find a way to do something like. In fact, I will do it. If we can sort something out, we'll maybe do a International Wheelchair Day javelin
throw. Who do you want as your target?
Might be Mike Ashley after what.
Okay, and by the way, Graham Onions is on tomorrow.
Was that on the show?
Graham Onions dinner.
Oh yes. I cannot go. I've got something else on tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a few to go. I Tom and a few cricket clubs. I passed the message on to the leaflet thing, but I wasn't successful, unfortunately. But I'm hopeful it's a good night and he makes money for his funds. But yes, well let's let me have a high of a javelin, and it might only go 10 feet, but it's something that demonstrates, and then like yourselves, you do 10 feet the first time, and then you do 20, and then all of a sudden you've got the world record, and you think, oh my god, I didn't realize that was the world record.
Well, two things I would see different. Do you run to a point and then throw your javelin?
Yes.
So that advantage a wheelchair person won't have.
Yes, that's the only thing.
Secondly, the muscles you have are white muscles. They are for speed. Steve would have muscles that are bigger than yours, but they are for strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You're like in a lower gear, lots of power, slow speed. He's in a higher gear, less strength but high speed. You're in a higher gear. So you could throw a heavier javelin, shorter distance, sort of, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
See, I understand physics. Like my ex-wife just couldn't get it. She got a first in BSc just by mugging up the facts and figures. But there's no application. I said, what's the point of it? Yeah. It's like a professor of maths in ASDA can't add up 99 plus 99 plus 99 is 297. How much is 99 and 99?
I don't know.
Look at that. Look at that.
They use a calculator in his day.
Yeah.
See, or even, I don't know, maybe his calculators are out nowadays. Are they, Ryan, in schools?
Yeah. It's everything on your phone now. Everything's done.
There you are.
Yes.
Why should you bother? It's like spelling.
I have to do that on my phone as well.
Yeah, spell check does it all. Why should you?
Exactly.
How times have changed, isn't it? Just fantastic to speak to Ryan from several generations younger than us, Doc. I mean, we didn't even have phones in the houses in my day at school.
You went to the box, did you? The police box. Did you?
Hey, that was good time, and you mentioned police box as a police car has just gone past by the same thing. Or an ambulance or whatever it was.
It must be one of those emergency things. So tell me, I mean, when's the first time you saw a phone, Stephen? What did it look like? Was it the black thing with a cable hanging, or was it a mono stand?
We used to use the next door neighbour's phone. They had a one, and
it had those finger holes for.
Oh yes, finger holes. The big black thing that was made of
bakelite.
Lights, yes. Big phone, and you pressed. Then they had the boxes where you put the 4 pence in.
Yes.
And then you push the button A if you've got a call, and you push button B to get your money back. That was probably the first time I saw phones.
We didn't have a phone, obviously, in 1952, but there was a office, Congress office or something, political party. My father knew them well, so I would go and say, I didn't know my grandmother's number. It was 2786. I said, can you connect me to my grandmother? And they knew me so well. There were only about 2,000-3,000 phones. How many kids use a phone at that age, And I think they thought it was cute. So they said yes, and they would connect. And I would say, Grandma, can you cook this? We're coming. That kind of thing. And they never charged any money, But they found me so cute. I don't know what happened, but never mind. And then 2786, and then more numbers, and the numbers got longer and longer and longer and longer. And then the first mobile, did you have a Motorola or anything like that? The thing that you could kill someone with, the weight of it was such.
It was one of those brick things, wasn't it? They used I would love to find another one of them, because it was what's the size of that computer in terms of storage. I mean, my iPhone, I think I've got 16 gig on my iPhone. It's not 32. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go back very far. Even computers were a lot less than that. the 80s, and when microcomputers first came out, and Amstrad 1640, if you remember the Amstrad computers.
I had a Lotus, which I bought from Gateshead company called Olympus, I think. The computer was low, it wasn't even a PC.
Yeah.
Then I got a BBC
Icon with a massive 64K RAM.
Massive, yes.
We used to put the word massive in front of 64K.
And then I went to Olympia Computers in Sunderland and got a PC. And then I got an email called anandji@aol.com.
All right, yes.
There's a English chap who lives in Arthur's Hill. I've forgotten his name now. He talked about the internet.
You still use that one now, that email, don't you?
I got one in my iPhone. iWatch, actually.
Right.
Anandji@aol it was. Sorry, yeah. Now it's
that's still your one now.
Anandji@me.com, yeah.
ME now, yeah. I knew it was the Anandji.
So things move on. I just have updated the software on my iWatch now.
Right.
How things move, isn't it?
That's the ultimate now.
Do you like technology, Ryan?
Oh, I love technology.
Stephen does, and I do as well. I think it keeps you young. It keeps you connected. Most of all, you're connected to young people.
Well, as you'll have just saw this morning, I've signed up for WhatsApp, which you recommended.
Yeah. Yes.
And it looks interesting. It's you just use it as like a texting thing, and you can speak through it, and it's all free, I think, from anywhere in the world. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah. In the States, I think local calls are all free anyway. So soon it'll be the same for us. Can you imagine all the people?
The difficulty is you get the first year free, but you have to start paying for the second year. 69 pence a year.
Oh my God! I have to take out of my pension? No. No, it is just amazing how communication has become so easy. I think that has its. What do you think? Is communication too easy? Too much? Too soon? Too many people?
It's really easy. Too easy.
It's so important to get people to speak together, though. I think all right. Maybe a lot of people use it for text and stuff, but I think to be able to speak and communicate, you get rid of the misunderstandings sometimes if you can actually speak to somebody. And I'm sure there'll come out a visual version of it.
Because I think texting and Twitter, I know you can add emoticons, but they're big misunderstanding generators.
Mm-hmm.
Very quickly and very easily they create that because, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? They have completely different meanings, completely. Isn't it, Stephen?
Oh, yes.
In the Speakers Club, that's what you look at. Gestures, body language, facial expressions. And again, culturally, they are different.
Yes. But you get misunderstandings as well, don't you? When you see, there's one way that people interpret their way of anybody speaking like that.
Yes.
It can lead to misunderstandings.
And then there's the tonal thing, I'm going home. That's the English way of saying. The Australians say, I'm going home. Well, are you going home or not going home? I'm going home.
You go home, are you asking me a question?
Exactly. Are you asking me a question? The Englishman say. I'm making a statement. From the Australian English people.
Oh, really? They were that friendly. Yeah, everyone was really friendly, basically.
Like Geordies?
Yeah.
Like Newcastle? So is there any variation in the UK when you go to different places?
Not really.
Do you think the world's a canny place, like?
I think so, yeah.
There you are. You've got a fully happy gentleman here. So, Steve,
I think with your athletics to are you thinking of taking any other sports? I mean, are you focusing on javelin, or is there any other sports that you're quite doing?
I'm focusing on shot put, discus, long jump, and ball throw as well, and probably 100 meters.
All right.
So that's some more things to focus on.
Yeah. You might as well get medals in lots of other things.
Yeah.
You might have seen Stephen Miller as just.
It's amazing, I'm just thinking about Stephen Miller.
Again.
Have you met Stephen Miller? No.
I don't think so.
He's a wheelchair-bound person as well. And what is he? He's the
word wheelchair-bound there. We don't use that word.
What do we say?
Wheelchair-bound. I don't like wheelchair-bound.
So what do we say? He's a wheelchair user.
Wheelchair user.
Okay, Stephen Miller is a wheelchair user, and he has difficulty.
He's not tied into the wheelchair, which was what wheelchair bound means.
No, that he'll never come out. Okay, so I correct myself. Stephen Miller, who is a wheelchair user. What is his official title?
His official title?
But he does things for Gateshead, isn't it, or the stadium? I mean, he's
going business now. Helping develop sport for disabled people and doing groups. I saw him the other week. He was up. Well, you saw him with the Nomad, the blind.
The film, yeah.
And I was talking to him then, and he set a business up last year with his wife, and they're developing with some funding more disability sports activities, which is really good. Get more people involved who have disabilities in getting engaged in sport, because it's great, and more people can do more than the belief.
Have a life that everyone has, a bit like the Nomad wheelchair and the Tundra wheelchair, isn't it?
Exactly right, yeah.
Because that's what allows you to have exactly the same life as anybody else, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm now wheelchair bound," kind of stuck on the smooth area.
It's strange using that word. That if you go on the Nomad and you go down to the beach, you do need to be bound to your wheelchair.
Yes. Because you become so mobile. Yes. It was great fun. By the way, I've ordered a rain guard for my camera. 143 pounds.
All right. Because it was.
Because in Britain it does rain here and there. And why should I be stuck in the house just because of minor showers?
We're quite lucky in that window. Most of that time when we did it was, I think the start of the day was rainy, and then it started raining at the end. But we're quite lucky. We got a little break in there.
Yeah. So have you seen the finished product? 4 minutes 4 seconds.
No, I haven't actually. No.
I'll send you a link then.
It come out when I was away, so if you let me see it, and I haven't seen Phil either, so I was going to speak to him when I went unwell the other day, so I would have seen it then and took him.
But we make product videos as well. So someone is developing a wheelchair base or a full wheelchair that you can take on the beach with fat tires. So instead of these thin tires, which are fine for the level ground,
get stuck in the sand. Yeah.
Just amazing. I mean, it's good. So we enjoyed making a movie. Our Steve was there.
What I'm interested to find out, and whether you've researched this, Ryan, is that you have the Paralympic Games.
Yeah.
For people with conditions. I don't use the word disabilities. It's conditions, medical conditions. I've got spina bifida. You have a medical condition, and it disables you in some ways. Now, you described some of your early life where your medical condition disabled you because you couldn't eat certain foods. That was disabling. Now, whether you call it being cured, I don't know. But have you looked into whether you could take part in like the Paralympic Games with what your situation is?
No, I've never thought about it really. I've not thought about that at all.
That maybe is another option, and you go back to South America where it might be quite warmer in Rio next year. But I think it's worth finding out as to whether you see some of these people with in the Paralympics that don't look as if they've got. They always get this problem. I don't like using this term. They don't look disabled. But there's ways of being disabled when it isn't a visible thing. So that's certainly the case in your situation. And again, I don't call you disabled because I don't call anybody disabled. It's a condition that disables you. But it might be worth you looking into, how you could get involved with the sports in both sides. And you never know. You might get into if it's too late now for the 2016, which is not very far off. It's another target for you for 2020. Where are they going to be?
Yeah, definitely. I've never even thought about that.
There you go. We've launched it, Doc, today.
Yeah. So there's a brand new idea. Can you say it up slowly? What's the new idea then?
Ryan's going to explore whether he can take part in the Paralympic Games, whatever that means, in the 2020.
Why not?
So it's the equivalent of the Olympic Games, and that's what Steve Miller's been involved with.
But so you need to meet Steve Miller. So when we get Steve Miller here, we'll have to have Ryan here as well.
Well, he said he was going to come in. I think we've got a date booked.
8th
of October, I think we've got him booked in for. We're certainly got him scheduled when we spoke the other week.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll be good to get him in and talk about the show, and then if see how there's any way of connecting. Because I think I would like everybody to be taking part in some sort of sport.
But the more you mix people coming from different angles, and the radio station is a hub, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a meeting point of cultures, of abilities, of anything.
Yeah. 8th of October, Stephen Miller.
So 8th of October, again, in your diary.
Yes.
Okay, all shows are 12 to 2, and this is Steve Wilkinson and I's show. So that's 12 to 2 on 8th of October, Thursday. And it's that Steve Miller we are talking about.
Right.
So it'll be great fun. Because the whole point is not sneezing into the microphone. Bless me. It should be fun because, the more you penetrate different areas, if this is your career, then why shouldn't you meet as many people as possible?
Yeah.
I mean, if you come to the Speakers Club, you'll stand up and give a speech, and we are there to help. We've got all access. You've got a radio in front of you. I've got a lady who's a journalist, my best friend's wife. She is a journalist for the North, for the biggest Urdu, bilingual English and Urdu paper. And links within links within links. Yeah. Isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely, because I think the things that you'll get out of the speakers as well is that whatever work you're going to do in the future, getting a confidence to speak, do presentations or whatever, it'll help you with that.
Yeah.
You've got a job now, is that right?
Yes.
Is that where you're heading in your future career, or
I think so? Yes, as far as I know, I am. Yeah.
All right. So, what do you have aspirations? Management or
management? Yeah, eventually.
And that organisation can get you there.
Yes, they can. They'll do
not
everything.
Allowed to McDonald's, by the way. So, is that right?
You got into McDonald's?
No.
No, which one?
Sainsbury's.
Okay, where?
Pontylland.
Pontylland, okay.
Yeah. So it was Sainsbury's. Yes. Well, that's right, because below Fratelli's, that was why it went there, yes, for the thing. Why did I think McDonald's? I'm thinking of somebody. But yeah, I mean, they're a company that in fact, they get involved in supporting disability a lot, don't they? Over the years, I think they sponsored the Paralympic Games when they were in London. Yeah,
Sainsbury did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they supportive of you in that in your sport?
Yeah, they do all they can to help. They'll give raffle prizes. They'll donate. They'll come to charity nights. They'll do everything they can to help.
Yeah. Well, the person who's in charge of the charity section in your place, once you get to meet them, they are welcome to come on Spice and talk about their work.
Yeah.
But anything positive and good for the community.
Yeah.
Anything, for anyone, whichever color, whichever religion, we're not bothered. As long as you're doing some good for some human being, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Isn't that, Steve?
Absolutely, yes.
We're not bound by race, color, religion, ethnicity, sexuality, ability to speak, ability to keep shut. We allow everyone.
Well, it gives a chance to everybody to have their say and spread what, if you take something, whether it's disability, wheelchairs, sport, it doesn't matter what colour you are or what country you're from. Just everybody's equal in that.
It is. And I think, the other thing, Steve, I stopped because you were talking to Ryan. Somebody showed an ancient picture in India of a man pulling a cart with two wheels and a human being sitting. So a man is actually acting like a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, in Kolkata, otherwise called Calcutta in the past, Kolkata, they still have those kind of rickshaws, not the pedal ones.
Mm-hmm.
I find the pedal even difficult. There's a human being pedaling.
Yeah.
So I wrote, sadly in Calcutta, we still have pedal rickshaws, but sadly in Britain, we still have wheelchairs. You have to push yourself. I think that's a crime. I really don't see why in this day and age, we can't have enough, because the volume of trade is very high. Don't you, Steve? For power-aided wheelchair, at least. It doesn't have to be fully. So when it's steep hills and things like that, or someone's a bit frail, there should be much more use of...
I think there's... I don't know whether... I mean, I haven't seen the costs involved, but I think there must be people exploiting the fact of not massive markets. There's a lot, but I think to get a powered chair when they're talking of several thousands of pounds doesn't seem right.
Several thousands of pounds if you manufacture enough.
Well, that's what it costs now. You pay.
But if more people were given it,
pounds for a powered chair at the moment.
No, but say, look at yourself. I mean, you get around fine. But if you have to go some distance, it's an effort.
Well, we've actually, when we went on holiday a fortnight ago, we were doing a lot of walks with the dog down in the Lake District. It was lovely, but with some hilly bits. And we've actually
power assisted, you could say.
So we've actually thought about getting some sort of power assisted wheelchair or a scooter or something that was easy to transport, because that's half the problem when you get the bigger power ones.
So why won't Philpew work on adding power assistance to a wheelchair?
It's down the line in the plans, because they've got two names for the next models of we've got Tundra and we've got Desert at the moment.
Yes.
The next one is going to be called Savannah. Okay. Now that's going to be a version that will be individually operated. You've got to be pushed in the two models at the moment. You can't even work it yourself. You have to have somebody pushing you, which is what you saw when we went to Blythe.
Yeah.
The next one is going to have some sort of, when my thoughts are, and they've started exploring it, some sort of levers that will operate above the front two wheels.
We have seen them. So when you want to go uphill, you take the high end of the lever and
that's
move
right.
like that. When you want to go down, you do that. But that's still a human being do it. I mean,
that's the stages of going through, and then ultimately they want to get to a powered one. But I think it's getting the concept of people wanting to go on the beach spread, and then you'll start to see that the volume will go up. It's certainly in the plans to get a powered version at some stage.
Super. That sounds very reassuring.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do a break, and then we'll keep talking. So you can stay, my friend.
Ryan, you have to go fairly soon, Ryan, is that right?
Yes, I'll have to go at 1 for work.
Okay, well, it has been nice seeing you.
It's been awesome coming in.
Okay, and I'll be talking to Stephen and swapping the cameras. That's what I'm doing all the time. Okay, so see you soon. So Jill or you can keep in touch with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's for coming back here on Steve Miller's Day. It's for going to the Speakers Club.
Yep.
And God knows where we go next.
Yep.
Right. I'll let you know about the speakers on the 13th.
Okay.
Cheers then.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Red Hot Radio. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
The UK's best dessert parlour franchise, Casper's, comes to Newcastle. Casper's menu boasts irresistible desserts such as gelatos, waffles, crepes, milkshakes, smoothies and sundaes, which include healthy and diabetic options too. At Casper's, we also have an extensive selection of coffees and drinks, making Casper's dessert parlour the perfect place to enjoy great food, socialise and relax with friends and family. Casper's 100...
That having bananas, I can't even eat that.
Well, I just thought I had to deal with it, really.
So did you just get used to it?
Yeah, eventually I got used to it.
Okay. And then what happened?
Then obviously I hit 13, and the doctors offered a solution, a transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my mum went away and talked about it, see what we'd do.
And I remember very clearly, they had to make sure your mother wasn't making money out of giving it. I found that horrendous. A mother is giving her kidney to her child, which any mother would do. Some fathers would, some brothers and sisters would, some friends would. And a lot of English people would say, when I die, take it. Don't take it now yet. Please, I'm still alive. But to ask a mother if she's making profit from giving her son, I find that disgusting.
Yeah.
I personally feel like taking them to court at the front of it,
Yeah.
But, when you're in the clutches of legality.
And now I'm back to being
No, what date did you have a transplant?
29th of November 2010.
10.
Yeah.
And you went for javelin, isn't it?
Yeah, javelin.
You did other sports as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you started growing.
Yeah, I do like everything now.
Okay. You're still shorter than your brother.
Oh, a lot shorter, yeah.
Lot. How many inches?
Quite a few. I think he's like 6 foot.
So in the growing phase, your bones, when the cartilage weren't growing fast.
Yeah.
So now you can become tougher but not taller.
Yeah, basically.
A bit like me. Okay. We also have Steve there watching over you. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
We have plugged the microphone into you so you can talk.
Yeah, okay.
You can butt in, you can talk. So we got Ryan sitting here. He was looking so
Hi,
well, I didn't recognize him, man. Go on, talk to him.
You're right.
Hi, Ryan. Can you hear all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
I'm not using the proper microphone or anything.
So for the
body wanted to grow, but my kidneys couldn't
cope with all the. So the kidneys basically remove the waste products.
Yeah.
And if your body is not removing waste products and you're eating differently?
Yeah, completely differently.
Okay. What were you avoiding? What do you do now that you didn't food-wise?
Food-wise, I try to have everything now. Whereas before, I had to avoid like cheese, dairy products, calcium, things like that, like bananas.
So anything that the kidneys couldn't clear,
you
have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you took bananas, it would be high in potassium, high in iron, high in this. So it was a boring life, man.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible.
I mean, for a young lad, it's absolute crap.
Yeah,
I can't say crap. It's absolute shit. Sorry, can't say that. It's absolutely fecal matter. Okay, no, it must have been really difficult. And how did you do in schools with all the time feeling kind of unwell? I can't eat this. Everyone's stuffing chocolate. I can't eat. Listeners, that's Steve Wilkinson, my wheelchair Steve Wilkinson, except he was unwell for a few days. He's well enough to talk, which we all are till we die, don't we, Steve? But not well enough to jump into a wheelchair and come all the way to the studio. So he's sitting in Kingston Park next to Wakar's. Call in Wakar to also show his face sometime,
Yes, we should. Yes,
phone him and say, "Come on, show your damn face." We haven't seen him for ages. Yes. Okay, so talk to us.
Like there, right?
Oh, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was actually colder than Britain as well.
What? Buenos Aires colder than Britain?
Yeah, it was freezing. It was like 8 degrees.
Isn't that a very high?
Yeah. Okay. But apart from that, it was really good. Met loads of incredible people from around the world. It was unreal.
So, how did you perform with your javelin? Did you any competitions were you in? Things?
I came second.
You say okay.
Yeah.
I feel hurt and insulted, but it's okay. And a mother would.
Yeah.
Okay. So she said, "No, I'm not making any money out of this."
Yeah.
What's your mother's name? Susan.
Jill.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then what happened?
So I went on a list for donors. I was on there for about 5 or 6 months and didn't hear anything, didn't get any matches from anyone. So that's when my mum offered to get her bloods tested, everything like that, see if she was compatible. So that took about another couple of months, and then eventually they said, "All right, you're clear to go."
So your mother was cleared up for being a donor, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
Right. Okay, and then?
So I had the transplant.